Hello and welcome to Your Average Critics. We were absent last week because of Easter, but we're back now, joined today by Chris, Obi and Ollie. Yes, we did rise from the dead. Sadly, Joe hasn't yet, but he's due to be back with us next week when we're doing our superhero podcast. So Ollie's got about 18 films to watch by then, I think.
How many have you watched?
18?
Roughly.
40?
I don't know.
How many superhero movies ever?
Of the Marvel ones.
Of the Marvel?
Yeah.
Of the recent Marvel?
Yeah.
The MCU.
So the 14 MCU ones.
The first 3 Iron Mans.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good start. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. The Avengers 1 and 2.
Suicide Squad? No, that's...
Civil War.
Ant-Man. So that the other week.
Have you seen
You like
Civil War?
Civil War, no.
Ant-Man seems like a film.
Ant-Man was, that was right.
Yeah, I thought you liked that.
Spoilers for next
way
week.
into that
Jesus Christ, man.
How's
Oh,
it
you've seen a lot more than I thought you had then.
Yeah, so you've seen most of them, I would say.
Yeah.
There's only a few.
Good half.
Yeah, well...
You haven't seen like one of the top ones, but...
It's like, it's seeing it, it's not watching it intently.
Fair enough.
So it's like when...
That's a bit like Fast and Furious.
It's like when you go to a lecture and people are... Or you in
You're there,
class.
but you're not there.
Yeah, people are talking at you or to you, and
You're
it's
just
going
a
through.
shell.
You go there just to feel good, but I made it to a lecture.
Yeah.
But in real talk, you're like, you're just... In your mind, you're in your bed.
You're hearing, but you're not listening.
Exactly.
Oh, anyway, we digress. But this week, so that's next week. This week, we're going to be talking about Fast 8. We're going to be talking about anime, because we watched Sword Art Online. Then Ollie's going to give us his From the Archive, which is going to be a Jackie Chan classic. But first of all, we've seen some trailers this week. So we watched the trailer for Detroit. So Obi, give us a lowdown.
Well, from what I can gather, it's like based on a true story, I think. I think it's in the 1960s, I think.
Okay.
So, I think the trailer shows John Boyega as I'm not sure if he's a policeman or if he's like a works at somewhere else. I don't know.
It was Will Poulter who was the policeman,
Will
wasn't
Poulter,
he?
I think both.
Yeah.
I think they both were.
Okay. But I know he was working at a place where he was like taking calls and shit, wasn't he, or something. I don't know. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, you see John Boyega, you see Will Poulter, and then you see a group of, I'll say a mixture of black and white people having fun at a party, and then they go into a discussion about guns and stuff. Some guy pulls out a gun, and then makes out as if he's going to shoot someone. Shoots the gun makes a sound, but obviously the gun's fake. So they're all arguing an idiot, and they all start laughing. And then police show up. I'm assuming having heard like a complaint about the gunshot or something like that, and they just start lighting up the place.
Yeah.
And
Is this in the ghetto, or is this just
I'm assuming
like
it's in Detroit, so I'm assuming it's in like the hood, so to speak.
the hood?
Yeah.
It looked alright. It's was it Catherine Bigelow? She's the one who did Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker. I think it might have been her. And it's got kind of like a good young British cast as well. Like you said, John Boyega, Will
Steady on,
Poulter.
Samuel L. Jackson's gonna.
I know. Think of all those unemployed American actors.
That's the thing. I think it looks good. I like the films that like based on true story.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be good.
Is it like a racial tension thing? Is that?
I think it's meant to be. Yeah. I think
Okay.
so. I think there was a bit in the trailer where John Boyega gets one of his colleagues some coffee or something, and they ask him for something else, and he's like, that looks like don't push it sort of thing.
Oh really?
I think it's a bit like a little. Then I would imagine in the 60s, he would have just the white man would have just be like, yeah, get me some coffee, be like, yes, master. Something like as well. Anyway, we digress.
And American Assassin, Chris.
Yeah, it's basically about a guy who his girlfriend gets shot, or his wife gets shot on the beach, and then he basically wants to become an assassin and kill all the bad guys. And so he gets sent to this other guy, who then teaches him. And then I don't know what the other part of the story is, but they're the snippets you see in the trailer.
Wouldn't it be cool if that guy who got sent to was John Wick?
Oh, man.
What a twist! What a twist!
John Wick shared universe. But it's got Dylan O'Brien, I think his name is, the one from the Maze Runner and stuff. He looks so different with a beard, man. Literally, he's gone from looking like 17 to about 34.
He's big.
I don't know, man. He's
Yeah, I
got
think so.
enviable beard game. Like,
Who would
strong.
win? I just thought about this actually because you said John Wick. Who would win? I don't know who Liam Neeson played in Taken, but him or John Wick.
I think John Wick would wipe
I
the
think
floor.
John Wick
Yeah.
would win as well.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson was kind of sloppy.
I mean, Liam Neeson's dumb to have, like, his family members taken 3 times. So John Wick wouldn't let that happen. Like his dog didn't die the second time, did
And
it?
John Wick's got age on his side as well.
True.
Yeah.
This is true.
That'd be good. Like a Royal Rumble of like
And then
John
get,
Wick,
if
Jack
they were
Bauer.
If they were,
If
if they were like, okay,
Chuck Norris.
John Wick's dog's been captured, Liam Neeson's wife's been captured, who's going to find who first, then Liam Neeson will probably win. But I think in a straight fight, I think John Wick will probably win.
Yeah, like the Expendables, like all of them.
I was just thinking that.
And like you
They're all
said,
pitching
like
against
Uma
each other.
Thurman from Kill Bill, like all of these people, Royal Rumble, cage match, chairs,
Do
Mickey
we-
James.
Do we know?
done.
Who, do we know who they? Do we know who they're getting in? Like Expendables 4 is actually
Well-
happening, is it? Who are they getting in as the new recruits? Because they always have it bigger and better, don't they? So who are they getting in? I'd like to see
Who else can you get?
Jackie Chan.
But
Liam
that's the thing,
Neeson.
because Sylvester Stallone has left the franchise.
Oh, has he really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And
Have
he's the one who created it, so without him, I can't imagine the film's going to continue.
No, that's noticed, yeah, in these films, whenever Sylvester Stallone's character has to do anything that's not a walking pace, it's always a stunt double. Like, even if he's like doing a little jog, stunt double. If he does like a forward roll, stunt double. It's hilarious. But yeah.
All those years of Rocky taking a toll on him,
Isn't
mate.
it?
Well, I think he should have a
Steroids.
voice double as well, because
Steroids.
his fucking speech is terrible,
Oh, yeah, it's
man.
terrible.
But didn't he have something when he was born though?
So winner, he had a stroke before he was born.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's a winner's
It's
done.
alright, mate.
Oh, man, I'm editing that out, man. That's harsh.
Ah, it's life, innit?
No. Alright.
We digress.
Right,
I feel like a prick now. Cheers, guys.
He's alive.
No else for that. So I thought the entire point of an assassin is that they're hard to find, right? So how is this person trying to get revenge? How are you supposed to find a school of assassins?
Job centre, innit?
Yeah, man.
Like, what's your skill? I got none. I'm starting from the ground up. I'm like,
Ask G,
Bruce
top
Wayne.
assassin's
I've got a feeling he works for a company and then they've outsourced him to this guy.
Mm,
I've got a feeling, but I don't know.
interesting. Yeah.
Okay. And not many other trailers,
Wasn't
really.
The Samuel Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Hitman's Bodyguard.
Hitman's Bodyguard.
Talking
It's
of
like-
assassins.
Looks like it could be quite funny.
It just looks like it's going to be so stupid that it'll make me laugh. So I'm definitely going to watch it.
Who's in it, apart from Samuel?
Samuel
Ryan
Jackson and
Reynolds as
Ryan
well.
Reynolds.
So is it like a buddy comedy, or is it...
I think it's
Yeah,
intended to be,
definitely. It's almost taken the essence of the first bit of the other guys, where they jump off the
Yeah,
building.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so
And then like creating it into a long movie about these two.
I mean, there's not two people who you would have thought would have the most chemistry, but I feel like they are individually two people who you think would just be able to get along with anyone.
Yeah.
because Ryan Reynolds is like pretty chilled out and very sarcastic and rude, and Samuel Jackson is just like, mother.
Yeah, literally. He said, have you seen the trailer?
Oh,
He says motherfucker.
and then he says he single-handedly ruined the word motherfucker,
Yeah.
didn't he?
But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to watch it.
That's the thing, like, there's not been like a huge trailer been released in the last week or so, has there? Not that I can
I feel
think.
like there was another Justice League one released, but I can't be certain on that. It just might have been someone just uploading something.
I feel like things are going to be building soon, because,
I don't know.
you know, like you said earlier before the podcast, it's almost summer, so there's going to be some big films.
What about
coming
that trailer for with Thor? Or did you guys talk about
Ragnarok.
that?
Have we
Yeah.
talked about
Did we
that?
talk about that?
Yeah,
I think we have, haven't we?
Well, let's talk about it then. Maybe we talked about it in our personal social lives.
Well, I thought it was a good trailer.
Yeah.
But the only bit that I would personally take out is the bit about the hammer being destroyed. Because I'd have liked to have
No, we
seen.
definitely haven't talked about it in the podcast.
I would have liked to have seen it in the actual film, like because if you'd just shown me it without the hammer, I'd have been like, oh, how did he get to that place? Like, why? But now you're like, oh, he didn't have the hammer, so he's like unworthy or whatever. So that's why he's in a desolate place and he can't really fight his way out of it
Yeah.
so easy. But besides that, it looks quite interesting to me. It looks funny as well.
Yeah.
I miss Thor with long hair though. I don't like the trim, personally.
No.
That was the first trailer though for that film, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
that gave away a lot. So usually on the first trailer, it's just like a really sneak peek.
Mm.
No action really.
That's the
until
thing.
like the very last.
The only reason
Fully.
I think they did that was because shortly after one of the Marvel films got released, a snippet of the Hulk running through a forest came about, and I think that was tied into this film. So maybe that's why they've done a bigger or done a more expressive trailer in relation to it. But I don't know.
I like the Hulk bit though.
Yeah.
That was good.
I know him from work. I
I
think
didn't get what's the point in having him in armour?
Who Hulk?
Yeah.
because it's the Planet Hulk kind of get up from the comics.
Oh,
I
really?
think.
Actually.
I think.
Cool.
Correct me if
I
I'm
think-
wrong.
I think
So
you're right, yeah.
it's just one of those other
Should wear
homages.
something.
But I don't think they're doing the Planet of the Hulk thing. Or
They're probably gonna
they're thinking
incorporate
about
it.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Nah, mate.
Why when Hulk like turns into when Bruce Banner turns into Hulk, why don't his trousers rip? Everything else rips, but why don't his trousers rip?
Oh, mate.
And then when he shrinks back down, why aren't the trousers?
Elastic.
Why aren't the trousers massive?
Elastic trackies.
Maybe it's like the Spider-Man Homecoming suit because that shrinks down in to fit his body, doesn't it? So maybe it's that same
So
material.
you're telling me he always has that material underneath his suit or whatever?
Every pair of trousers that he wears.
Mate,
Fair enough.
that's the thing.
Yeah, it's like Superman always wears this thing underneath his suit,
Mm.
and then he goes to a phone box,
Not like Ryan Reynolds.
and he's
is
ready.
it?
Deadpool.
Yeah, not like Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool.
But I'm actually looking forward to Thor Ragnarok now because I don't really like the Thor films, and I was like,
First one's good.
See, I
Thor
feel
3.
like it would be the best trilogy so far of the Marvel films.
that's a debate for next week.
Without seeing 4-3, I disagree with that straight away.
Oh, yeah,
But-
because you love Captain
I love
America.
Captain America, so I disagree with that straight
Yeah.
away.
But I also really like the director, so Taika Waititi. I don't know if you've ever seen any of his other films.
Yeah, I've seen No, I haven't seen them. Sorry.
No?
No.
So he did like the two that I've seen are What We Do in the Shadows and
That really famous film.
Hunt for the Wilder People. So they were both on Netflix. He's a New Zealand director.
I really don't know how you remember all these names of people. I'm just like,
I agree.
I never
I
remember.
don't even pay attention to who the director even is.
It's the only information I ever retain,
Fair
mate.
enough.
Even with the actors' names, I don't remember. I'm like, oh yeah, that actor was really good.
And then he just pulls it out of nowhere, doesn't he?
Literally.
Even if he can't say their names, he still pulls it out somehow.
Even if I can't pronounce them. I can
I
pronounce
heard
Taika
you.
Waititi though. But yeah, so his films are kind of like really offbeat comedy, like really tongue in cheek, and it's just I don't know if you've ever seen like Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's that sort of comedy,
Okay.
and it both of those films are really really funny. Like there's a part in Hunt for the Wilder People which is about a little kid who's like keeps going to foster homes because he's like a troubled kid. He's like 14 or something, and then he gets sent to this remote house with a mum and the dad, but the dad didn't ever want him. Well, I guess it's not really his dad, but anyway, so the mother figure ends up dying, which is quite early on, so it's not really a spoiler. And then it's about them going on like a road trip through the New Zealand forest, and but people think that the father figure has kidnapped the kid, and so there's all these wanted posters, and they find this cabin, and there's a wanted poster in it, and it says wanted. I can't remember his name, like Chris. Says 56, Caucasian, 6'2", and then the kid goes, "Hey, they've got this wrong. You're not Asian." I was just, it was one of them. Fuck it, but it's funny.
Fair enough.
You gotta be there, man.
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
be
you had
there.
to be there.
Sell that.
Had to be there. You should watch them though. They're both on Netflix. So based on that and the comedy of the trailer, I'm looking forward to Thor 3.
Have you ever seen the YouTube videos with Thor and his roommate?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good.
It's basically just
And
like
he's
that.
like, "Where's Tony Stark? I haven't heard from him in so long."
He's like, why didn't he get invited to the Civil War and stuff like that as well?
Oh.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I'd recommend watching it. So
Okay.
I think there's
Just
two of
like a
them.
little snippet.
Yeah.
Maybe we can tweet that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do that. All right. Well, I want to mention a poll we did, which was about reality TV. So that was our topic a couple of weeks ago. So we tweeted out because we all had different opinions on why we watch reality TV. So mine was it makes my life seem a little bit better. And then Obi, yours was to watch a conflict.
Yeah.
Chris was to kind of live vicariously through the people there, and then another was like a guilty pleasure. So the results are in, and it was a tie for to live vicariously, and it's a guilty pleasure. So the public have spoken, although I guess
We need more votes. Alternative
that was a source
Revote.
of 1 million
Yeah.
people voted there. Jeez, man.
facts. We need more people to vote.
Yeah,
I'm
YSC
gonna- I'm
Podcast
gonna-
17.
I'm gonna create like 10 Twitter accounts so I can spam the vote next time so I make sure I win.
But yeah, we do tweet out polls every now and then. I also want to say a huge thank you to all our global listeners and even the listeners in the UK. So we've got a decent number of listeners now across our 12 or so.
100 listens on the first episode.
Woo! So thank you. We've got people all over the globe: Australia, Mexico, Pakistan, Cyprus, Nigeria, like USA,
Innit? Big up my Nigerian
everywhere. So keep listening, keep sharing, and keep commenting. But on to the main topic of today is going to be, first of all, Fast 8. So this is the eighth instalment in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Did you see the thing that came out the other day? The director said
What?
that
F. Gary Gray.
Yeah, he said that Fast 10 will be the last.
Definitively.
Okay.
Well, or he was
Until they reboot it.
Unless he was saying it was the last one he would do.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to do another one. The director of the 8th.
Well, this is it because the way they've left it, I think we should put a spoilers thing in this. But the way they've left it, it could go on to be like a trilogy of films based on this scenario, essentially.
Yeah.
I think so.
But this is already
Yeah,
so.
trailer.
Okay, so
Should we do a non-spoilers first?
we'll do a non-spoilers first. So Fast 8 is the 8th instalment of the Fast and Furious franchise, which, if any of you don't know what it is basically fast cars, a diverse cast of people. They're family in inverted commas, but they're all from different backgrounds. And the first 3 films are all about drag racing.
And pulling heists, right?
And well, that's the thing. The first 3 were drag racing, and then from
Yeah, but it was about undercover cop trying to go and investigate. wasn't
yeah,
it?
but the main
Yeah.
plot point was the illegal drag racing, and then there was after the 3rd one, which was Tokyo Drift. There was a bit of a gap, and then they brought out Fast and Furious, which was the 4th one, and then from there it kind of became this crime heist sort of proper action film, and it's kind of rejuvenated not only the franchise but also kind of the genre and what we expect from it. So the 8th one is kind of, what is it about? It's about a hacker, isn't it? A hacker who's
got something over Dom and basically is using him to
So
do
who's
what
Dom?
he wants.
For those who don't know, who's
Dom
Dom?
Toretto is the main character of
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, and he basically leads these people into their
This
heist.
ragtag group of misfits.
Yeah,
That's a good way of explaining it.
and basically, he's the leader of them.
Yeah.
And he's the one who creates this whole family. Is
Yeah.
it ensemble, would you say?
Ensemble, yeah, I guess. So Charlize Theron plays Cypher, who's a hacker, and she has something over Dom Toretto, which makes him turn against his crew and his family. And then this guy called Mr. Nobody, who's a government agent, played by Kurt Russell, he leads the crew back to try and basically stop Dom. So, personally, I really liked the kind of plot of it. I mean, there is not much plot, which I'm sure you'll talk about, Chris. But in terms of that, because the first 7 films has all been about Dom Toretto, the good guy, and especially from the 4th film onwards, it's all about their family and they're this huge unit. So to have him become the anti-hero, I thought was quite a nice, fresh injection of something, because a lot of these films are very similar. So to have that
Can
was
I
quite
ask,
different.
for when they finally get to Fast and Furious 10, do you
Yeah.
think it's going to be a happy ending and they're all just going to go off in their own separate ways, or
I think it has to be. Really.
you think?
Yeah, unless they all die in a fiery car crash.
Yeah.
But then it'll take away the whole family
Yeah, true.
essence of it.
So if
So
they die together, it's family, isn't it?
true.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But do you think the family, inverted commas, they're all going to stick with it for the next 2 films then? All the actors and...
I think
It's
so.
guaranteed money, man.
Yeah.
I think they will.
This film made almost $500 million in the first weekend,
Wow.
maybe even more than that,
Wow.
which beat Star Wars' record, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, for the biggest opening ever, or something like that. So these just a cash cow, man. They just rake money in.
Worldwide, it was 600 million.
Wow.
Jesus Christ! And that is just it's only been out a week or 2 in the UK. I don't know how much.
I
But
wonder
in
if
the
it
US.
counted because it was a bank holiday weekend, so they included all 4 days.
It's good media buying, isn't it? It's good.
Nah,
I think a lot of it was not from the West. I think a lot of the money they actually made was from China. They had a lot of viewings over there. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Well, I've noticed in the production credits was a Chinese company. So you know, they're definitely it is. I mean, it's such a global franchise. I mean, the amount of countries they go to in
Yeah.
each film. Like this time, it's Cuba, Berlin, Russia, the USA. Last time was like Dubai. You know, they go to Brazil. Anywhere you want. Like, you know, obviously Tokyo Drift was set in Japan, so I can imagine it appeals to.
Have you ever gone to London?
Yeah.
The one with.
The seventh one, wasn't it?
It might have been the sixth one.
Sixth one. Yeah, because we discussed this and we found out that in the fifth one, Lenny,
I think her name's Letty.
I think is dies, and then in the seventh one, she's back again
Yeah.
to explain the part of the story in the eighth film.
So that's the general plot, and you don't really need to know too much about Fast and Furious to watch these.
Can someone explain to me though? Yeah, because in one of the films they made a ton of money. It was like the fifth or the sixth film. They made loads of money. They pulled off that massive heist. They outdone.
That was the
The
fifth
Rock.
one, yeah.
Where's all this money?
Well, they blow up about £5 billion worth of cars.
Yeah, but that's
each
when
film,
they're working
so-
for someone.
I don't know.
Yeah, they personally
Where's
got
their money?
millions of pounds. Like
So
when
why
you
they
pull off-
still- why they still-
when you pull off like majority of a lot of heist films,
Oh yeah.
when you pull off a job, they're like, oh yeah. Like, they've done it, and then they're like, oh yeah,
One last job.
one last job, exactly. We're gonna do one last job. Then you get that money, or you fail, you get the money. Then you're like, oh, we're just gonna do one more.
No,
You
but
don't-
I
you
get the heist mentality. Don't get me wrong, the
Yeah.
heist mentality of continually doing heists. But where is the money?
What do you mean, where's the money?
Well, they're not living luxury or nothing.
So-
How do you know? We don't ever see
Yeah.
much of their family background, do we?
How do you know
obviously-
they're not living in luxury?
So the start of Fast 8 is Dom and Letty, I
In
think her
Cuba.
name is,
Do
in
they
Cuba
have
on
gold
honeymoon.
shoes?
Yeah.
True. Oh yeah, they're on
Yeah.
honeymoon.
On
actually,
honeymoon, and they
that's
stay in
true.
some pretty nice places.
Yeah.
And I think the purpose of the films now is they don't do it for money. They do it for
The thrill.
some
Adrenaline. or whatever.
that, and also for some sense of that they have to protect America or people, you know. So they do it.
Well, I'm just gonna throw it out there. They did a terrible job of doing that in the.
They do
this
kill a
film.
lot of people, man.
Yeah, this film is literally massacring people.
Yeah. But what did you think of the film? So
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free, right?
That's one of the films I think where when you go into it, you've got to turn your brain off, and it's like
Yeah.
you said, like you just gotta watch it, not like
Yeah.
not you can't deep
Yeah.
it. You just gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Like take it at face value. Don't like.
I think I took it. I don't think I took it for that. I think, like, don't get me wrong, the stunts were well good.
I saw plenty of discontent from you.
Yeah. So tell the listeners about your initial response. As soon as the credits started rolling, what did you say?
I said it. I think it could possibly be one of the worst storylines to a fast film.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't originally say that, but I changed it.
Hot
Because that's what I meant.
Yeah, and then after
it broke me a little bit.
after 2 days of having time to
Reflection.
contemplate it, what do you still agree that it was one of the worst films?
Storylines, yeah. Films, I don't know. It's a bit of a hard one because if you can't. You're right. You can't take it for you can't analyze it too much because there's so many. In my eyes, there's so many plot holes. And there's so many things that for me, I forget about whether it's all legit and it can all happen because we all know that half the crap they do with these cars would just not happen.
Yeah.
Like science wouldn't let it. But so taking that aside, I just thought the story was just so poor, and it didn't engage. It like the action scenes engaged me, but the actual storyline itself just didn't engage me enough, and I was just like, meh.
But then I
So
think
it was an alright film. I'd probably give it a 6.5. But as the films go, I don't think it was one of the better ones. I think I really liked 5. I really liked, was it 5? 5, 6 or 7. 2 of those 3 were really good.
okay.
And I really liked Tokyo Drift. And I actually thought the original 2 were quite good as well. Even though they were quite basic in terms of CGI and stunts and all that.
Yeah, but if it had a good storyline, then that's what makes it
Yeah.
count, doesn't
But
it?
because you didn't see Fast 8, but you've seen a few of the others.
I've seen a few of the others.
In terms of like storyline and stuff, do you think can you remember the storyline? Do you think it's important in these
I really
films?
can't, just because I was never so much of a fast
I didn't think the
fan.
first one was all that personally.
But I think like these films, I think the plot is so secondary or even tertiary to the film. Like
I completely agree.
the things that the films are about is the cars, the explosions, the locations, the sense of family, and
Lots of
also
muscles.
the beautiful people.
I'll tell you
Keep
what.
wedge.
I'll tell you what I did like actually. I liked The Rock and Jason Statham's little like their little bromance, which I liked. I'll tell you what. Do you know what? Maybe
It's like opposite of a bromance, but
Huh?
It's like a frenemy, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think maybe maybe I don't like it as much because in the first 7 films or 6.5 films, there was like you got this friendship, you got this frenemy of Paul Walker and Vin Diesel throughout the whole through the films.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like bouncing off each other, like doing good, doing bad, and then like going in between almost for both of them. And maybe because they don't have that anymore, maybe because it was so family, like family this, family that. Oh, I'm doing this for family, yet I'm gonna mess up my family while I'm doing this for family kind of mentality. It was really bad logic to me.
No, but there is a...
I know.
So, without
because
spoiling anything of Fast 8, Dom does do what he does. Dom does turn against his quasi family
yeah, this is
for
what I knew,
actual family.
I knew you were gonna. Yeah. I see what you mean.
But go on, Oaks.
That's a spoiler, isn't it?
It's a...
That is definitely a spoiler.
Yeah,
But it's not-
I didn't see that coming.
It's not an overt spoiler.
Fair enough.
It pretty much is though.
I haven't given any detail.
Fair enough.
I haven't given any detail.
Fair enough.
Right? So, but I think following off Fast 7, which is like one of the top 5 grossing films ever or something, you know, it made
Really?
shit tons of money. And I think, you know, obviously that was the last film, like Paul Walker died during it, so it had the added sentimentality and like the emotion. And it was a good film, but I think, like The Dark Knight, there's always a sense that because someone died during the making of it,
That's when they make the most money.
it's been elevated, right? Or, you know, I think anything following that is always going to have a really tough gig because this film is not trying to be as sentimental as the last one, but inevitably because of that, there is something missing compared to the last one. I don't necessarily think it was better than any of the others, but I mean these films, they're just so entertaining. Like I think you summed it up afterwards perfectly when you said it's the epitome of the willing suspension of disbelief. Like you can't think about these films.
No, not at all.
Like if you think about them too much, they don't make any sense. Like you said, Chris, they really don't, and they're so unbelievable and out there, but. You just watch it for the spectacle. It is just a spectacle. And it's one of those films that I think, you know, they don't really homage to much other films, you know, many other films. They're not there to be critically critiqued, really. They're just there, they're just what they are, unashamedly. Like, you know, the more you think...
This film's never going to win an Oscar.
No.
So when a critic goes to analyse it, what do they do
say
then?
never.
If it's not meant to be critiqued?
I think it's one of those films that you have to critique it in the context of the rest of the franchise.
Just take it for what it is.
Whereas things like, I guess, with like a superhero film, there's kind of like that, but you would always compare it to other superhero films, even outside of the MCU. You know, like Dark Knight or whatever, or you know, they're even like they might even make jokes about other sort of films, and you know, but the Fast and Furious isn't. I mean,
but you're not gonna critique Fast and Furious and then compare it to something like Titanic.
No,
or whatever.
Obviously not. No, yeah.
So you just go. You like. Well, I'm not a critic, so I'm an average critic. But you know, the assumption when you're critiquing something is that you just, like Glenn said, you compare it to the world that the film, those sorts of films exist in.
I think it would be unfair to compare Fast 8 to anything other than Fast 1 to 7.
Well, if I'm comparing it to the rest of the Fast franchise, I don't think it's great.
That's fair enough.
That's fair enough then. That's fair enough. But if you're saying like, you know, it's not, it's never going to be a classic
I know.
film.
But in terms of the Fast franchise, maybe I'm actually getting mistaken. Maybe one wasn't that great actually. But the older ones I did really, I appreciated more than I did this one. But I must admit they had their good points in this one. Like I thought the cast they got back majority of the cast that we saw previously.
Yeah, there are a lot of
really good.
like Easter eggs or cameos and a lot.
Yeah, for anyone who sees the aeroplanes, whoever sees this and sees the aeroplane scene, I won't spoil it, but that was really good. The stunts in general were pretty good, and like you see Statham fighting, which is always great, isn't it? Seeing him fight because he does it all himself as well. So
the prison scene was really good.
Yeah, that was mad though.
What I like about the recent Fast, or even all of them actually, their soundtrack is really good. Like it's really like bombastic, and you know, you're just dancey and.
This is the thing with films these days, though. They're just really proper getting the soundtracks a lot better, especially like since it's probably before Guardians of the Galaxy, but I know when that film came out,
that soundtrack.
people love that.
It's just good songs, mate. It's just good songs. It's
I
not
know.
hard to put a good song in a film.
Oh,
Fucking hell,
whatever. You were going about some soundtrack the other day.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, because that's actually like written for the film. It's not just Michael Jackson. Everyone loves that. Let's play it.
You're so pedantic.
Nah, mate.
No, he's just a Lord of the Rings lover, mate.
Innit? Jeez.
What I would say though is, and again, this isn't really a spoiler. You can't argue it is that I'm not even joking. All of the big action set pieces are in the trailer. All of them.
That's a fair.
The only difference is that there's a little bit of context either side, and some of them are a little bit longer.
Plane one's not. That's not really action.
There is a
that's
bit.
more fight,
There is a bit actually
Oh, is there?
in the trailer
Ah.
when he slides his head along the glass.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
Fair play.
I just think and I know we've said this a lot, and I really want to start a petition or something, but so I've said to you on numerous occasions the amount of times I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer, and I say I haven't got a clue what it's about.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to see it because I'm hyped.
Yeah.
Fast 8. You. This is the 8th film in a fucking franchise, man. People are going to watch this motherfucker either way. You just need some cars, some loud music, and an explosion in your trailer.
And The Rock.
And
You could even actually make up the explosion scene because films do that these days.
and maybe even a funny Tyrese Gibson quote, and you'll have a trailer there. 45 seconds.
When did this
boom.
when did the first trailer come out? Do we know? And was there a lot? Because I would say that they've been advertising for this film for a while, but I mean, Game of Thrones is coming up, and we still have absolutely nothing about that. There's no footage.
There's set photos at the moment.
There's photos.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
is it.
about
And
it,
I
yeah.
think that's just a still photo people get.
I think
Yeah.
I think trailers for TV shows have to be different, and I don't understand why that. Because I don't. Walking Dead, they do a little trailer before each episode.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do that, man. You don't need to. But
You don't. Oh. well.
no, you don't, because I'm going to watch it anyway. That's the point of a series, right? Unless it's series 4. But so say for example, there was a trailer of Game of Thrones, and for argument's sake, because I don't know this, there's a clip of Jon Snow and Daenerys fighting the White Walkers, right? And you know that there's 8 episodes this series, and you've watched 6 of them, and you know that scene hasn't happened yet, so you know it's going to happen in the next 2 episodes. So that is in itself a spoiler, right? Because you're always thinking, oh, I haven't seen this scene yet, and it's not in this episode, so it's happening later on. I think TV shows, and again, Game of Thrones is a global phenomenon. All you need is that little teaser that they had.
Well, you just said that Fast and Furious 8 is global, it's made a shit ton of money.
That's what I'm saying. They don't need to have that many spoilers in there. Well, I don't know if they're really spoilers, but they're kind of... The spectacle's kind of ruined because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, one of the parts of the trailer is when that huge kind of demolishing ball, this is in Fast and Furious now, swings through and just destroys all the cars. That is awesome, but I'd seen it 5 or 6 times in the trailer. So when it happened on the big screen, I was just like, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
All I didn't expect to happen, well, I kind of anticipated it due to physics, was it to come back again. That wasn't in the trailer, but I wasn't like, oh my god, it came back. So, please, studio execs, get us to do your trailers. We'll hype people up for these films without spoiling
Glenn will
them.
be their hype man, isn't it?
I'll be hype man. So, yeah,
Cool.
Rant
It's off your
over.
chest, mate. It's okay.
I know. Said it with my chest, and that's off my chest. Anyone got anything else to add about Fast and Furious? I mean, I'm going to watch 9. You don't even need a trailer. I'm watching Fast and Furious 9.
Can I ask a question about Fast and Furious?
Go for it.
So like we get a lot of like the cast is pretty stellar, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of well-known names. If they were going to add someone to the cast for the next film, who would you want to be in it? Who do you think would like fit the bill to be in the crew? Or maybe not in the crew, maybe a villain or whatever.
I've technically got a new guy.
Scott Eastwood's character, little nobody.
Yeah.
But don't you think?
I don't know.
Don't you think he kind of looks a little bit like Paul Walker?
You think?
Well, you know, he's kind of I don't know. I don't know if they cast someone who's got the same colour hair, same colour eyes, same. Don't know. Maybe I'm being cynical.
Maybe.
But you said, was it you saying earlier about, are the cast going to be there for 9 and 10?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever see Ludacris or Tyrese Gibson or Michelle Rodriguez in any other films apart from these?
Michelle Rodriguez is in the Machete films, isn't she?
Is she?
Yeah,
But like in
it's not a
terms of
massive one,
like
is
big
it?
blockbusters, they don't need anything else, man. All they need
So,
is one
yeah.
of these films every 2 years.
Can I say who I'd like to be?
Oh yeah, of course.
In the film, I want Kevin Hart to be.
I saw that coming.
I think him and The Rock would have such good chemistry
Oh,
together.
mate.
Yeah,
I think it would be so
What
funny.
would be his character?
I don't know. I think I'd like to see him play a bad guy, but a funny bad. I reckon he'd play a really good funny
Really
bad
little
guy.
angry
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. I think he'd be so good as a bad guy.
Like it.
Just like comedy and
Bring back Bow Wow, innit?
in it.
Well, you say bring back someone. I read somewhere that there might be, more than likely, bringing back Han
Oh, the Korean
for the
guy.
9th one. Yeah,
Hasn't he? I swear he's died like twice now.
He died in
he died
Fast
once.
Tokyo Drift.
He died
didn't
Tokyo Drift. He's not died in the other one.
No, well,
But
the
so-
other one showed the Tokyo Drift
Yeah.
thing again.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, but no one really dies in these films, do they?
Yeah.
That's why I think I liked. Maybe was 7 the one that showed the Tokyo Drift bit. I think
I
that's
think,
maybe
I think it was 6, but I can't remember. Either or.
whatever one that was. I think I really like that film because they tied it in really well
Yeah.
and they made it all make sense again.
I think it must have been 6 because the end of 7 was the Wiz Khalifa song where they drive part of the ways.
Yeah, but wasn't that after they finished doing whatever they had to do?
Bit morbid, but I want that song played at my funeral. So
Oh mate,
touch with us. I want to dance to it. That's a banging tune for it.
Oh,
I'm already weeping.
Innit?
I want you to do that thing where you get like people to dress up in suits and shades and get them standing in line at the back. Send off some like secret agent or something.
Oh god.
But earlier you said that you think 9 and 10 might be a trilogy.
Yeah.
I guess about. And this is okay. So
About
this
the
is going to be a
the betrayal.
spoiler.
About that.
Should we go into...
No, basically, it doesn't need. We don't need to spoil it. I think it's gonna be a trilogy based around this hacker woman,
Okay.
and I think there's gonna be something bigger than her. I think she is almost the middleman. I think she's up there. No, not a middleman. She's up there, but she's not head honcho of this whole.
And I think, but then she's been alluded to, or this organisation's been alluded to in 6 and 7, hasn't she?
True.
So I guess maybe it's the culmination of that. And in terms of, again, so this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but Helen Mirren is in the film as Jason Statham's mum. So
Spoiler. That's like you don't know that when you see that though.
That's a good point, yeah.
Well, I just said spoiler.
Should we enter into spoiler territory now?
I feel like spoiler territory is needed.
We're in spoiler
We're
territory.
in it.
Really sorry,
We're
Ollie.
fully in it. Let's...
That's okay.
Oh, do you give a shit?
You can go ahead.
There you go.
But that's I think that's such a mild spoiler.
Oliver's crap.
What about Statham's mum?
Yeah, because I haven't said anything else about.
I think that's quite a big spoiler.
I agree with Chris.
That's quite a big spoiler because when you get introduced to her, again,
You have no
major
idea.
plot hole on how they got introduced to her,
Yeah.
but you don't have a clue who she is,
Yeah.
and you're like, where's this woman come from? Why has she got this history with him? Because she makes it sound like he's done something to her in the past.
But
And then
she's
later on, like
she's,
the last 20 minutes, you find out who
she's
she
a
is.
Cockney British woman, and the only
You cannot
Cockney
tell me,
British person
no
in
way.
the entire fucking franchise is Jason
No
Statham.
way did you figure that out when you first saw her.
Did you
No
think-
way.
Oh yeah, she must.
Yeah, I knew.
No
I
way.
I did.
No.
I
swear down. Yeah,
Alright, get out of it. Go
I
on.
definitely didn't.
I did not spend £27,000 on a film degree not to figure that shit out.
Fair enough. Can I just quickly say something about Fast and Furious? So like this is the first film I've seen with Ludacris in it and Tyrese Gibson, but I'm talking about Ludacris right now. I'm the only one who doesn't buy Ludacris as a like fucking
Hacker.
super smart hacker. Like I just feel like he can't pull it off. I don't know. Is it just me? Or I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I enjoy watching it. But
Looks
I
can be deceiving, Obi.
I swear in the second film he was just like a car mechanic.
But yeah, didn't he put all them trackers and stuff in the cars and all this
Also, I
stuff?
feel this is the first film they actually say his name, which is like
what is his name?
Tej or something.
Oh.
Because I was like, I have no idea what your
They
character's
definitely,
name is.
he's definitely been introduced because when Brian introduces him to someone, he must say his name.
Okay.
But I thought it was quite funny when at the end they're like, oh, which one of us are you going to choose? The girl, the other hacker girl, and she's like, do either of you know my surname?
Yeah.
And
I reckon I know what her surname is.
What?
So they call her Ramsey. I think that's her surname.
That is quite a weird first name.
I think her surname must be Ramsey.
So then she should have asked, what's my first name?
No, but it's a trick question, isn't it?
Oof.
I think.
Oof.
But are you going to watch this film?
At some point, yeah.
Alright, we don't need to spoil it. There's no need to spoil it. I think we've said enough about it then.
I think Glenn spoiled enough already.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry.
You dropped 2 clangers, mate. David Stockdale yesterday from Brighton.
In it, man.
Mate.
A double own goal. We've not even had a shot on target. Oh well.
Anyway,
Right, let's talk about Sword Art Online. Ordinal Scale.
I can't talk much about this because I fell asleep about 3 times.
Obi didn't have his coffee.
I was so tired.
Did you go to the
man.
cinema to watch this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he
I
fell
was
asleep,
I
literally
was
fell asleep.
tired.
So,
Nice.
should we do it from my perspective as someone who's
Yeah.
watched
So,
all the TV?
Tell us, give us a synopsis of
Right.
this film, and then tell us how it relates to the wider Sword Art Online universe.
Do you want to do it that way round? Okay, right, okay. So this film is basically about this guy who has been out of the Sword Art Online... but no, I've got to start the other way round. So basically Sword Art Online is about people who have a virtual reality headset. They go into the game, they're like fighting and all this stuff, and then they get trapped in the game. Every single player gets trapped in the game by the creator. Yeah, pretty much. And then, so basically, some of them are beta testers, so they are a bit ahead of everyone. And then, basically, to get out of the game, someone has to beat level 100.
Uh-huh.
If you die in the game, you die in real life. You take off your VR headset, you die in real life.
Classic.
And basically, you go through the story. By the end of the series, they've got out.
Sorry, can I ask you a really quick question?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure about this when I was watching the film. When they've got the headsets on, are they actually... They're still there, physically?
They're lying down physically.
Oh, they're lying down?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was a part in the film where they
Police.
were on a drip, weren't they? In that.
Yeah, so basically, in the original, in the TV series, they would put the VR headset on, they'd lie back, and then it would go into their sense, their neurons or whatever, and then they'll be immersed in the game. They'd just lie there. I think their brain would just do all the stuff.
Okay, cool.
But so they get out, and then basically, and then there's been I can't remember how many worlds they've been in, but they've been in several worlds. And this guy's the main character. He's quite a technical guy related to it, and they've been in and out of worlds trying to stop other crimes and stuff. And basically, they're in real life in this film, and there's this new almost Google Glasses type of virtual reality headset, and
Called
people.
the Aguma.
Yeah, that's the one.
Auguma.
Yeah.
Something like
And basically, everything's done by this virtual reality. If you win games, you get free stuff, and everyone's using it. And then the monsters from the original game they used to be in are coming out in real life. And if you battle them, you're ranking, because there's a ranking system. You go really high up if you beat any of them. And then basically, this guy, who used to be part of one of the armies within the original game, really is out to get everyone. And basically, he beats up people who were from the original game after they've attacked the monsters. And if they attack the monsters or get hurt by the monsters, they lose their memory of when they were originally in the game. And basically this is a dilemma for the main character, because he's in love with another girl and she's losing her memories of their time together. And then basically he's just set out to stop this guy from taking everyone's memories. And then you find out in the end that it's basically this guy created this virtual reality headset to save his daughter's
Spoiler.
I was going to say, do you want to give a spoiler warning?
Spoiler warning.
To basically save his daughter's life. And then basically the story is that.
Yeah, so Sword Art Online was the virtual reality video game of the headset.
Yeah, that was the game, I think.
What's his name?
Kirito?
Kirito.
Oh, no. Kirito.
It was like that.
Kirito and Asuna.
Asuna, yeah.
So Kirito's the male protagonist and Asuna's his love interest.
Yeah.
So they survived Sword Art Online. And then...
And he was like one of the best ranked players. He was the only player who could wield 2 swords.
Alright, so he was a bit of an OG. And so this one is now about augmented reality.
Yeah.
Which is... So virtual reality was like all their senses were taken up. Whereas augmented reality is just like...
Real life.
Vision.
This sounds scary, this is where the future's
Well,
going, man.
so-
VR sets are coming out. If you ever come into my house and I'm strapped to a table with a VR set on me, help me.
So
I'm not there by choice.
when I was watching this film, I was like, this is basically if Charlie Brooker did a Black Mirror episode of Pokemon Go.
He did. Well, Charlie Brooker did do like a.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the best episodes of that Black Mirror series. Yeah, so it's like basically like Pokemon Go, right? So that's augmented reality, isn't it? Because you use your phone camera and then a Pikachu appears, and you're like, oh shit! So it's basically that, and that's what I quite liked about it because I think it was quite topical.
You still got it. Don't
This,
lie, mate.
well, this is why
You're still out there.
this is why I watched it in the first place because I thought it was quite a clever idea
Mm.
to be in a virtual reality and then being stuck in it, or almost having real life become virtual reality, like both worlds colliding.
Yeah.
You having the impossible possible in front of you, but yeah.
I thought it was really a really good idea. I think even the anime series is quite a good idea in terms of being trapped in a video game. I quite liked the visuals of it. The storyline was quite strong, I thought.
Yeah.
Especially with and we've spoiled it already, but like in terms of the creator doing it because his daughter's died in Sword Art Online, he wants to bring her back through the memories
I
of.
can't remember what the actual world was called. I'm just trying to. It doesn't really matter, does it? But so
No.
the game, because basically it gets confusing at points from someone who's never watched the series because when they go to because they all come together in a different game, like all the mates come together in a different game and the characters look different. So you so someone who's not seen it before would probably be like, who the hell are these other characters and why they become the point of of the film. So,
but that's always going to happen in a film based on a previous property.
Yeah.
So like, I was always going to go in there thinking there's going to be points that I'm not going to understand.
Yeah.
But I quite liked it. And I mean, considering it was 2 hours long, it certainly didn't drag as much as A Silent Voice did.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So yeah, I mean, for me, someone who hasn't don't watch a lot of anime, just certainly haven't seen the series, I thought it was quite solid. But someone who has seen the series and a lot about the world and stuff, and obviously like they never reach level 100, do they?
No,
in
not
the
in
series,
the game,
but
yeah.
you see some of the monsters that they never.
Yeah, and
encountered.
then in this one you do see the monster from level 100 as well.
So how does it live up to?
I think it's really good, and I thought maybe the last fight wasn't the greatest. Like, 'cause they were doing a lot of fighting, weren't they? And then the last fight was. The thing is, for me, when I first saw the last fight and then they win, I was like, right, you took that monster down really easily, but throughout the whole series you were really struggling. But I suppose the point of the thing is that they've been in this game for the last 4 years, being able to go in and out of the game, and they've just continued playing it. So maybe they have increased in strength, so that's why it was easier.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really good, and they brought back. I mean, it's not hard to bring back old characters in the cartoon because you just draw them, but they brought back all these old characters, which was good. The storyline was, like you said, it was strong, and yeah, I mean, personally, I don't know how they're going to do another series.
Has that been announced?
Apparently, it's been it was announced a while ago that we're going to do another series, and I don't know how they're going to do it, but yeah, it's good. I liked it. I'll give it, as anime goes, I'll give it a 7.5. Like in terms of what I've watched of it before.
Oh, we didn't write Fast and Furious. Yeah.
What would you give Fast and Furious? 8.
Say again?
I was saying
What
Fast
would
and
you
Furious 8.
give Fast and Furious 8?
Oh, 7.5.
Yeah, I'd probably give the same.
Mm.
Chris, you said 6 something.
I'll give it 6.5.
Yeah. Okay, so back to anime. In terms of like, yeah, so it lived up to expectations. Didn't disappoint in any way.
No, it lived up to expectations. It was good.
But
yeah.
then, okay, so you said you don't know how they would make another series. Should they just leave it here then? Just.
I think they could, because like that ending as well, the two characters essentially have announced their marriage. So,
Yeah.
and a good point of the TV series was about how these two were just like because they were fighting all the time, like not with each other, not against each other, but like the monsters. And then they kind of were just like, well, we're going to be stuck in this world. Let's just make a life. And there's a few episodes where you see their love progress, and then they obviously have a child, which isn't actually their child, but they have the child. And so yeah, I mean that's the point of most films or TV series where if the people kiss at the end, it's like kind of the end scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean it's endless because they could just make another virtual reality headset, or they could make another world where there's someone killing, and then these guys go in and save it. So you can just carry on. It just depends how strong the franchise really is. Cause
So does it begin with? Sorry. Does the virtual reality headset start off as like a commercial gaming thing, but it goes sour?
yeah, pretty much. So it's
cool.
like everyone wants one. I don't know how many people got one. I don't know if it's limited, but it seems like 10,000 people got one.
Yeah.
10,000 people get immersed in the game, and then when they try and log out, the log out button's not there. And then the big creator guy comes out. I can't remember if he comes out as like a monster, and he's like, well, you've got to beat the game to get out of it, and then straight away a few people die because their parents take off their virtual reality headsets before finding out and don't take off the virtual reality headsets.
But how do they communicate that to people?
So I don't know if it got announced by the creator or if people just realised after they took the headset off their child was dead.
Oh, okay.
And then adults are in it as well. It's not just children. Like, yeah.
Would you ever want to see it remade live action?
I was thinking about this. Like, I think it could be. It's a cool idea, but I don't know if they could pull it off.
Why
Well,
not?
I was just saying, it sounds just like Tron. So it would be like, I was just saying to Obi as well, actually. It sounds like a big budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be CGI.
Yeah.
And more medieval as well, I reckon. It's essentially like RuneScape. But you're playing as the character. You're leveling up, you're doing all your farming, you're doing all your cooking, you're doing all this and that, and then you just got to...
That's so boring.
Yeah. What?
Cutting a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what
feel like it sounds like a good idea for an actual video game.
Yeah,
Is there one? I don't know.
yeah,
Copyright.
it's not great, the video game.
There is a video game of...
I've had a little go on the
Imagine
deadline,
if they did an actual virtual reality game of this. That'd be sick. I would be shaking his head.
What do you mean of this? Of life?
Of Sword Art Online.
What if this is not real? Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
What pill did you take? Blue or
The
red?
contraceptive. Anyway. So yeah, would you see it live action?
I'd see it live action. Whether it's good, that's another thing. Like, I mean, you got big animes like Death Note, which have been made into live action, and they haven't really been, as far as I'm aware, they haven't been publicised too much as being good.
Well, that's another whitewashing scandal, isn't it?
No, but I'm talking about the original time it got
okay.
made into a live action. That wasn't right, as far as I'm aware. But the thing is, like, I think they like in these cartoons. Did you think the main character was American, or did you think he was Asian? The main character in Sword Art Online.
Do you mean Caucasian?
Japanese?
Yeah,
so-
Do you mean-
but
do you mean-
forget that he was talking Japanese?
Do you mean
When you got-
Caucasian
yeah.
or Asian? Because you said American.
Yeah, Caucasian. Yeah, sorry, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
Caucasian. Yeah, maybe I should. cut that
Well, that's the
out.
thing, because me personally, I kind of feel like they're drawn to look quite Caucasian, which I think may kind of muddy the water in terms of like if they cast a white or Caucasian person in a live action role, but the character, like you said, speaks Japanese, is living in Japan, has the culture of Japan. You know,
Yeah,
it's kind of an odd ground, you know.
it's a mixture, isn't it? So this is why you're always going to get the backlash from when you recreate these things. Like, either someone's going to be like, oh, that does not depict what I've seen in the cartoon, and then you got the others that are saying, well, you're just whitewashing it. Bring it back to its roots, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I feel like, in a way, it might be like, you know, if say for example, so Ghost in the Shell, the live action, was set in Japan, but with a Caucasian female. If they'd changed the location to like Manhattan, it would make more sense for a Caucasian person to be in the role. So it's, in a sense, it might be, you know, easier or less offensive to change the location if they want to cast a Caucasian person in the role. Because otherwise you just, like with the Great Wall, they're just plonking Matt Damon in like an army of Chinese soldiers. And it's like, did that really happen? So, I don't know.
yeah. But
That film was based on a true story.
So, are there any other anime or cartoons, like Japanese cartoons, that you would like to see made as a live action?
No.
No?
None at all.
None?
None.
I heard you saying the other day you want to see Yu-Gi-Oh or Dragon Ball Z.
No?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Why
work.
do you not think it works?
Because
We've been witness to it.
this is the thing. Like, we saw the Dragon Ball Z one. It was rubbish. That's something I can think of. But that burned me enough to think
Yeah.
that there shouldn't be another one. Because these things are... There's like... Anime especially, like, well, the ones I've seen, they're so, like, mythical creature focused, like creatures that don't exist in real life, and it just doesn't work. Well, I don't think when you put them in, if you was to put them in a live action setting, or a thing like Yu-Gi-Oh, where like he's just playing a game, and obviously he's using creatures and stuff like that. I just feel like it wouldn't have the same effect if it was live action. And Yu-Gi-Oh like always had like a lot of dramatic music and stuff like that. And I think it's because you can draw the cartoons. Like whoever's making it can make the cartoons whatever the cartoons are going to say, or whatever facial expressions they want. It can be exactly what they think it needs to be. Whereas when you're doing it with a real person, there's going to be a bit of error, I think, as to how it comes across.
But then, like, nowadays, technology is so good. Like, War of the Planet of the Apes, they look photorealistic gorillas, man. And obviously, like, I assume a lot of animals in films are probably CGI now. Like, especially if they are made to do something that they probably be quite difficult to train them to do. So now, like 2017, when you got like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's been a couple of live action ones of those, and although they don't look real, but the graphics on them are decent. Like Transformers. Do you not feel like the technology now they could actually recreate a Yu-Gi-Oh character?
They can
or
do
something?
it, but I know they can do it, but I don't know. I feel like there's a difference between doing it and being able to pull it off.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
Is there anything they could do that is the missing ingredient for them to be able to say, oh yeah, they pulled it off?
I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest.
I think as well, what they try and do is, so for the Dragon Ball movie they made, was it Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z? Either way, it doesn't really matter. They tried to take a whole series and smash it into one film.
Okay.
And that's a lot of hours to smash into an hour or two, because the film wasn't even that long.
No.
And then not really have people wanting to watch more. It was kind of like a struggle to carry on watching that film because it was just so fake.
Even if something as simple as the way they did Goku's hair, I was just like, it just looks rubbish.
Okay.
That's the thing, yeah.
Looks so
Cartoons, like if you saw a guy having Yu-Gi-Moto's hair from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the character, but he has like this hair up here, like black and yellow with like some purple.
Bit of red in it.
It's like you can't pull that off in real life. Surely you'd look like an absolute Dumbo. Apologies for anyone who's got that hair. But and then also, like, could you imagine like someone rocking some massive pyramid like shaped
Illuminati, mate.
It'd be like his neck would be down here, like
someone just like Kaido, like a fat white trench coat.
Yeah.
Like, you just look like a cunt. Like, excuse my language.
And then I'm gonna have to. They can't really pull it off a lot. I mean, we'll soon see, because the two that I know that are coming out, you got Full Metal Alchemist, which they're not whitewashing. That's coming out. I don't know if it's a live action film or a TV series. We'll see if that's good. And then we've got Death Note, which is another film a film made by Netflix, which is whitewashed. Apparently.
Is that a film or a series?
That's it. I thought it was a series originally, but I'm led to believe now it is just a film, which will have the same thing I've just said. They're cramming too much, especially like a thing like Death Note, where it's so almost methodical in how they do it, and like, it's so tactful, and it's like this battle between two minds to like get the answer. Like to cram it all in such a short space of time, unless Netflix make a really long film, which they could. I mean, they could make it like 4 hours and people would just watch it. Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm not saying do it. Like they could make it. But like they could come. You could dip in and out of it with Netflix, can't you? You don't have to necessarily watch it all, but. I mean,
okay, so say there was a live action Dragon Ball Z or Yu-Gi-Oh TV show, would that make you want to watch it more?
I'd probably give it a go. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd give it a go. It's like me saying right now I didn't like Fast and Furious 8, but I'm going to go and watch 9 anyway. Because I am.
So don't have a try.
Because I love these shows, I will watch, as a kid, I will go and watch it just for sheer curiosity. Yeah. But whether they can pull them off, I'd love for them to, but they just won't.
I would love a live action Pokemon.
Well, do you remember that trailer that was on YouTube?
I was thinking about that like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was so sick. The fan one.
But that was so like dark and gory.
Yeah, but I think it would be really good. Like, I think they could definitely have, because like Pokemon Go is a lot of fun for 10 minutes, and like, so they could quite easily, you know, he's walking through because like I guess you know you can just make these real world locations, you know, like mountains and forests, and walks through grass and sees a weedle, and you know.
True.
I think it'd be all right.
You could make it like Power
I
Ranger.
can't see someone like you watching that and being like, oh yeah, this is good.
No, probably not.
No, like, because you.
What
in a
what-
real life Ash.
Yeah, unless like the Pokemon started like murdering people. Then,
Yeah, man.
Then I assume you'd be interested.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unless they made it like Power Ranger-esque though, because that was pretty. That was a little darker.
It was directed by Stephen King or something.
Yeah, if it was like Quentin Tarantino and Rodriguez and like you know Charizard actually mauled people and you could see their
But,
cinders and stuff. Yeah, like it'd be cool. Yeah, 18 rated Pokemon. Be like fuck 'em on, you know.
Who would you get to play?
What'd you
Who
say?
would you get to play Ash?
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher. I don't know, man. I
I
don't
like
know.
that actually. That's quite a good shout.
I don't know who's gimpy enough
And then
to.
you could have Dwayne Johnson as Brock.
That'd be so sick. And like, oh, that'd be sick.
The Rock.
Make it happen. Ryan Reynolds as Ash. Rock as Rock.
As a 12-year-old.
I don't fucking know.
With the cap on. Oh, mate.
And then Amy Adams as Misty
Bloody hell.
with her like Starmie and then who'd be Tommy Lee Jones as Professor Oak.
Like it, yeah.
What about Ash's mum? Actually, what about Team Rocket,
Yeah, I was
mate?
gonna say, what about Team Rocket?
Team Rocket? That would be Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise.
What the?
Oh,
Why Tom Cruise never plays a villain, man?
Fucking hell.
Apart from like Collateral. And then the thing is, and the first episode of the series, right? He'd have to Ryan Reynolds would meet his enemy, and the enemy would be like, "What's my name?" And then he'd have to give him his name, and he'd be like, "Knobhead." Remember you do that? And when you play the video games, you have to name your opposition, don't you?
right.
And he just
Mate, you need to give more context if you say that.
What?
He just used to give him like swear word names and
okay.
stuff, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I got you.
It's like a knobhead has challenged you to battle.
Well, if they ever do make a Pokemon live action film, I hope they do not put you in charge of casting.
Oh,
That film
mate.
sounds dreadful.
It's
I
gonna be
can't wait
awesome.
for that.
It's gonna be awesome. Jake Gyllenhaal will play the villain. It's gonna happen. You heard it here first. Copyright your average critics, man.
Well, was there any anime that you wanted to be made?
I can think of two. I can think of, back when I was younger, I used to watch a cartoon series which was a Jackie Chan series, and it was something about talismans. And they
Jackie Chan.
and they
Yeah,
gave people like
Yeah.
magical powers, like the rabbit gave you super speed.
Did you ever have the comics?
Yeah.
And they gave you
I've
the.
got all of it upstairs.
Yes, yeah.
I used to
I
have
wanted
that.
them. I had that metal tin that they gave me.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's upstairs as well.
My mum beat me over the head with it.
Oh.
Throwback.
Oh wow!
Right back.
Good times. Good times.
Wow, that took a turn for the. If you've been affected by anything in this podcast, please seek to.
Call me. I'll help you. I'll help you get through it. Call me.
Mate, did you know about the NSPCC when you were a kid, man?
Of course, but then if you do that, you just get more bees.
Hope you turned out alright.
Did it? I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know about that, mate.
Wow. Okay, so Ollie, your non-abusive parents, what did they what did they allow you to watch?
Yeah, so the Jackie Chan one would be one that I think would be quite funny to watch, just as like a standalone film maybe.
Yeah.
But I think actually for my second I would pick, because there are so many Batman and superhero related animation series that I think a lot of them actually have a good storyline and better than some of the movies that come
Yeah.
out. So you guys are talking about The Laughing Joke, where it's really
Killing.
dark about the Killing Joke, sorry.
Yeah.
Really dark about the death of Robin. And I don't know, I kind of would like to see that in a film. It's like a really dark Batman film. I know
Yeah.
there already have been, and we always say, oh, we're going to bring out more of what's already out, but
I think that's quite a good point. Because like Batgirl's been announced.
Oh god.
One of the origins of Batgirl, or not origins, but is one of the kind of big storylines about Batgirl is in the Killing Joke, where the Joker pretty much rapes her and cripples her.
Well, you don't know if he raped her.
Well, I mean, it's quite heavily suggested, but do you think that would ever become part of the Batgirl mythology,
nah,
like
it's too
live
PC
action?
now. That's not going to...
Maybe.
But DC.
Thing is,
we're
PC,
going
no,
to.
PC, mate.
See, the thing I was saying to Obi, I don't know how they're going to bring Batgirl into this universe because I'm of the belief. So we're at the stage where we know that the original Robin is not the Robin in this film, in this DC universe anymore.
We know that a Robin.
Well,
Is it
you'd make the
definitely the
assumption
original?
that you'd made the assumption by that suit that Jason Todd is no longer with us.
Is that Jason Todd's suit? Because, could it not be
Well,
Dick Trace or whatever
It
his
was
name
in
is?
Suicide Squad where Harley Quinn said she killed Jason Todd.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did she?
Mm.
Okay. I missed that. Okay, that's quite good. Well, no, that's not good, but that's quite a good spot. So that makes me think that, okay, so the original Robin,
Dick Grayson.
he must be Nightwing now.
Mm.
And then there were talks about doing a Nightwing
Nightwing
film.
Mm.
And then was Jason Todd the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next Batman, the next Robin could be Tim Drake unless he's already turned into, I think he goes to be Red Robin afterwards.
Mm.
So then the only option for me would be Damian Wayne.
Red Robin. That's like the lamest superhero name.
I think that's what-
Batman. Red Robin.
I think that's what they call him. I can't. Don't quote me on that. But then Batgirl, there must be a point at which Batgirl's already been in it. She's already had this thing happen to her, and she is like in a wheelchair.
Mm.
Wait, what's I'm confused. What's
So
your problem with
what, is the Batgirl? So my thing is, the Batgirl's film going to be within this timeline, or is it going to be pre-timeline of what we're seeing now?
Oh, well, it could be either, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Fair.
But my thought was just like it's just odd. I
Hmm.
find it. Just
Or
really
I think
odd.
they could do, like, maybe. Well, if it was me doing it, obviously, because it's Batgirl, I assume you'd have to do an origin story. So obviously you start in the past.
Yeah, I suppose
with
that's true.
Commissioner Gordon and whatnot. I assume with the majority of these films that they're planning, they're gonna have to do origin stories. Otherwise, they won't make any
I feel
sense.
like they're just gonna make loads of things out of like sync though. Like I know obviously everyone does like prequel films and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like so much is gonna be out of sync because they've made it an older Batman.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but then they'd just cast a younger Batman,
Mm.
which would be interesting. Because
Yeah.
I don't know how long Ben Affleck's going to want to do it.
Well,
I
if the
think
films
so,
are
yeah.
if the films are rubbish, then he's not gonna want to do it. If the films are good, then I'll say to him, do as many as he can.
Mm.
Because I think he's probably the perfect person for the job. He's a nerd and he likes the Batman, Superman kind of fit comics. So, and he seemed to portray it quite well from what I think that was one of the best parts of the film. Really, him being Batman. So.
But going back to the animated DC or superhero films, is there a particular one or two that stand out to you?
Nah, I just used to watch a lot of the Batman just animated episodes, and I really enjoyed them.
I think Under the Red Hood would be.
Yeah,
I
or
think
Flashpoint.
He's got a lot of good villains as well that I don't
Mm.
think get portrayed as much as I wish they would.
Mm.
But yeah,
Is there any benefits to anime or cartoon to live action?
It's easier.
Yeah.
Easier in what sense?
Then you can pull off more stuff without having to spend more money. Oh, sorry. You
You
can
speak
pull
up,
off
sorry.
It's easier because you can pull off more stuff without having to spend more money, basically.
Yeah.
And like stuff that there's certain things that happen in so when I watched Batman Return, what was it? What?
Rises? No.
The Dark
Return.
Knight
Dark
Returns.
Knight Return.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dark Knight Returns Part 2. In that spoiler, pause. The Joker kills himself by breaking his own neck. So like, yeah. So and like that's not something that you could do well that convincingly in a live action film. So stuff like that. So,
And like you said, like expressions and hair and
Yeah.
costumes, it could be as crazy as you want.
Yeah,
Well,
Like
this is it. Like you got all these aliens in the TV series, and they look in the cartoons, and they look kind of like normal. They fit in, but when you're going to go and CGI them into them, and especially with the people who are directing and producing these films, trying to change it up a bit, making it a bit more like almost modern. I don't know if they could pull it off as well. Because like you got all these simplistic suits, like back in the day Power Rangers, Flash wearing that like. What's the material? Whatever the material is, but now it's all like machine.
yeah.
It's like they're making it more logical and they're making it seem more realistic.
yeah.
So these aliens, I don't know if they would make them look the same, and I think that would annoy people. But it'd certainly annoy me if it didn't look the same.
Yeah. I think also, like you're saying, in terms of metaphysical or kind of, existential ideas and concepts can be, it's difficult to explain them with words,
Yeah.
isn't it? You
Yeah.
kind of say like, well, what would you think heaven looks like or hell? You'd be like, oh, fiery. But if you asked you to draw it, or you could probably have a better way of expressing that than through words. And I guess, like you're saying, and it's easy to do that on, or potentially easier, a cartoon rather than live action, where Ghost in the Shell, all the intricate graphics and stuff, like that must have cost tens of millions just for all the time and effort it takes to draw it quickly. I also think, if you disagree, please let me know. Like, certain themes can be dealt with in a more palatable way in animation. So, like when we were watching A Silent Voice, it was like bullying and suicide and things. And I guess there's a level of detachment from an animation because you don't, obviously they don't look. Well, they might look anthropomorphic, but they're it's not like you can really relate to them because they're not a real person. So therefore, it might be easier for you to internalize themes like that. Is there an argument that animation is a good way of exploring dark themes and stuff rather than really affecting you psychologically?
I think it is, yeah. Because you don't take it seriously, I don't think.
No.
I mean, there are some messed up ones, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think you're right. I think seeing it in a cartoon form, you're a bit more like, okay, whatever. It's not real. But if you saw it in real life, well, you saw it in the big screen, like live action, you'd be a bit more like, oh, shock horror. Like, that's a bit much, kind of thing. But then you say that, but a lot of people were a bit aggy about the Killing Joke scene, weren't they? They were a bit like, and you don't actually see anything in that.
I think that's again because there are expectations with cartoons that they're going to be child friendly.
Yeah.
Like when Sausage Party came out and people actually took their children to see it. Like I don't know how they got into a 15 rated film, but it's like because it's a cartoon, you just assume it's going to be for kids.
Yeah.
So if there's like rape or strong language or violence or orgies featuring hot dogs, then
That film was so funny.
That end scene is so disturbing.
But is there a particular reason why you guys, like you two especially, Obi and Chris, watch anime? Is there a reason like I like it because it's XYZ, or is it just?
I just like the storylines of most of them, to be honest. They're different to what I watch in live action things, so I think that's the only reason I really watch them.
Okay.
I mean, and also I don't think if I saw like that, like, and you'd never see, and I'm excluding like heroes from it, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll probably point out one straight out of the bat. But I think there's so many. If you were to make it a live action one, there'll be so many visual effects. I don't think you see that many visual effects. Like you see visual effects in TV series, but not on the constant level that they have them in this.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah, I just think it's quite clever, most of them. So that's why I watch them.
Well, listeners, get in touch. Tweet us YSE Podcast 17. Why do you watch anime? If you do watch anime,
Recommend one for me to watch.
yeah, definitely. Like
Or us to watch, in fact.
if you're an aficionado, we've got quite a few people on our Twitter that in their blog thing says anime. Or bio even says anime fan. So let us know which ones would recommend. Were there any that you would want to be live action? And do you have any benefits of anime over actual live action film? So do get involved. So Ollie, you talked about Jackie Chan. So you are this week's From the Archive host. So tell us about your Jackie Chan film.
Yeah, so this week I watched Rumble in the Bronx, which is a classic Jackie Chan movie. So the storyline is he is the son of a store owner who's essentially selling off his store and gonna go live in retirement. So Jackie Chan plays the character Kyung, comes over to the Bronx and is looking after the store whilst his dad is off on his honeymoon. So he comes over thinking that this is a really nice area, but obviously trouble ensues because he gets in a fight for all the right reasons. Or the right reasons, the wrong reasons. It's against criminals. Okay. So he protects his dad's limo, or his dad's friend's limo, and the criminals lose money because of that. So they want to get a bit of revenge. And it's a bit of a sad story that he's kind of getting... He's this foreigner who's coming over and he's getting picked on by this gang. But he is a martial arts expert, so he kicks ass. But a couple of times he does get his arse also beaten, which is sad to see. Jackie on the floor. But yeah, it was a really good film. It is. I think he actually broke his foot during it.
Oh shit.
He jumps off a bridge onto a hovercraft.
Oh wow.
Of course,
Yes.
people are actually getting run over by this hovercraft as well. Like this is back when health and safety was out the window, and there are no rules.
What film? What year was it released?
So it was 1995, I believe.
Whew. Would have been 2, or 1.5.
Yeah, so it's an old one, but there was actually a lot of stunts in there that I recognised from Rush Hour. So
Okay.
I wonder how many more of his films they all kind of relate in the stunts that they do.
Yeah.
So there's a bit where he's like hitting some guy with loads of fridges, like fridge doors,
Yeah.
and he's hitting like guys on either side, and he puts them in the fridge. And I was like, that definitely happens in Rush Hour, in the bank or something.
Yeah.
See, that is a great example of when going back to Fast and Furious, and I was saying you can't compare it to other films because it doesn't reference other films, as far as I'm aware. Whereas things like that, Rush Hour, you know, you watch a film from a few years before and you think, oh yeah, that links. So therefore, you know, that's to the credit of the filmmakers, I guess. And I guess a way you can say, oh, either in a positive or negative way, Rush Hour has, you know, appropriated it for a good reason or it doesn't work.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing I would comment about this film is that it's dubbed over.
Oh, so is it
it's
actually a Hong Kong or Chinese
yeah.
production?
Except for the Caucasian cast, they're speaking English, but Jackie Chan, he's not speaking English in it.
Is it poorly done?
For his family members, yeah.
But does he dub his own voice? Actually, that wouldn't make sense, would it?
No. He doesn't speak good English, to be fair to him.
Okay.
No,
In terms of so have you watched many other Jackie Chan films?
I haven't. I wish I have.
Do you feel like this is a good gateway into watching martial arts films and stuff?
Yeah, you gotta love them.
Right, kid.
Around the world in 50 days.
Oh no, just for Jackie Chan. I think I'm gonna explore a bit more.
So in terms of you saying like he's kind of picked on because he's a foreigner, I guess. Does it portray eventually that sort of mindset in a negative way? Does it deal with that
Not
as,
really,
as a
because
theme?
so many things are happening in this film. There's so many, there's a lot of action from the fighting. There is an explosion at one point, and the storyline kind of deviates a lot.
Okay.
So there isn't a set storyline, so you don't really know, like, oh, he's going to have his love interest. Because actually, there's one part where you think he's got this love interest, but it turns out that it's not the one by the end of the film.
Oh.
So it kind of changes a third of the way through the film, which I didn't expect.
Is that again to its credit or to its kind of detriment?
I definitely say to its credit, but I'm always sad to see. So you know, you see this woman who's clearly interested in Jackie, and you're like, oh no, now I feel bad for her.
I know. Okay.
She didn't get the man.
She didn't get the man. No.
Damn it. But it sounds like quite a confusing storyline. Were you confused by it, or again, was the plot kind of secondary?
No, it was so basic. I mean, I say it deviates, but it's so basic. So it's like he's with this gang, or this gang are trying to find him because he essentially lost their money. But then, you know, there's like a shooting because a bag of diamonds gets robbed. And then suddenly the gang are actually involved in that. So he also then gets caught up with that. And yeah, there's a few other aspects and corners that it turns, but it's, worthwhile.
What about you two? Have you seen many Jackie Chan films apart from Rush Hour?
Not really.
Around the world in 50 days.
Any good?
It's alright, yes. Alright film.
Is he a good leading man?
He's never... Well, you know, he's a leading man. As I was saying, the films I've seen, he's always got someone next to him. So, like, the one on Netflix that's got
Johnny Knoxville in.
Johnny Knoxville in, they're two people, aren't they? And they're
Yeah.
Same with Rush Hour, you got Kim.
Does that kind of say a lot about his prowess as a leading man? If he always needs a sidekick, or
I see him all
I think that's for Western cinema, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to be a leading man in probably in
I
the
agree.
Chinese cinematic.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's, you know, loving life out there, but he's adored. He is. I don't know, actually. I'm just saying that because he's well known in the West.
Yeah.
Imagine if they hate Jackie Chan back in like.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
Isn't there a film where Bruce Lee versus Jackie Chan? or something like that.
Don't know. That'd be pretty
Not
cool.
Scooby.
Maybe there's like a martial arts Expendables with like Jackie Chan,
Well, they had
Donnie
Jet Li,
Yen,
didn't they?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my god, are they going to bring Jackie Chan? We were saying that there was going to be a Jackie Chan 4.
Right.
A Rush Hour 4. If there were 4 Jackie Chans. A Rush Hour 4, but I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I think they're getting too old, aren't they? It's gonna be difficult. It'd be nice to see though. Although the three were quality that they've done,
Yeah,
so they
I
could
agree.
easily leave it and I'd be happy.
Mm.
But again, it's actually a film where I'd be like happy to see another one, because it's not one of those films where you're concentrating on the continuity of the storyline.
Yeah.
It's just their friendship, and then they go and do something,
Yeah.
save someone. Whatever.
That's what I like about the 20 Jump Street films.
Yeah.
Apparently they're going to cross over with Men
Men
in
in
Black.
Yeah.
I don't know if I quite want that, but I love those films, man.
It's the part
Good
of
duo.
if you get a good duo, you've got a quality film.
Yeah.
Although I say this, I think I haven't actually seen it, but Mark Wahlberg and thingy from the other guys, Will Ferrell, I think they do so well together.
Can you?
I was going to say, I thought you've seen the other guys.
Yeah, I have, but then I was going to say
Daddy's
Home.
Oh,
And
that was okay.
But was their chemistry good still?
I was gonna say, can you think of any films where the obviously two main characters, they have good chemistry, but the film's rubbish?
Ooh.
Yes. Chris Evans and Sebastian Stan in Captain America.
Not gonna hear this again. Like, let's put a pin in this until we come back to it next week. I'm not hearing it.
I don't know. That's a really.
Because you think about it, like most, like Chris said, when they have two characters have good chemistry, the film's normally pretty decent.
Yeah.
I mean, some people would say like I think The Rock and Kevin Hart have good chemistry, but some people would say Central Intelligence wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But I
It was
myself
alright.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. So yeah, I see what you mean.
What about Ride Along?
I like Ride Along. I just like Kevin
Yeah,
Hart.
I thought Ride Along. I can't
I
remember
do
which
like
one was
it,
better. Yeah, Ride Along was alright.
I like Ride Along and Ride Along too.
I didn't feel like that was great.
Fair.
But then I guess some of the Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson / Ben Stiller
Ben
films,
But I don't think any
Like,
of them have
they've
been
all got-
bad.
they've got good chemistry, but they haven't been. Some of them have been great.
Yeah, they've been alright, but I don't think any of them have been like, oh my god, I don't want to watch that ever
Yeah.
again. Oh, actually, probably what's his face, Adam Sandler and that guy that he's
Adam
always
Sandler
with.
and anyone. Who is that guy?
Any film.
It's
Kevin James?
What film are you talking about?
do they have chemistry?
What's that? I pronounce it. No, is that
I
a good one?
pronounce you Chuck and
Is that a good one? I can't remember. There was a film
He
they did
uses
together
the
that was.
same
Oh,
people, man.
bloody what's the film with Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Pac-Man
that's
in-
got Kevin James. Pixels.
Yeah, I didn't think that was good. I thought it was quite bad.
But
Do they have good chemistry?
do they have chemistry?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point actually. Well, they must do if people keep hiring them together.
They might be mates. Doesn't mean they've got on-screen chemistry.
True.
True. Yeah, that's a
Dunno.
good point.
Just
But-
don't at me about Adam Sandler, man. The only way Captain America could get worse if he was Captain America.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's going to be Captain America.
Fuck.
I was talking to Obi on the bus, and I was like, oh yeah, Big Daddy 2's coming out, and I was like, oh wait, no, I didn't mean Big Daddy 2. I
I was
meant,
gonna say, I was
Daddy's
so
Home.
baffled.
Daddy's Home, yeah.
The best part of Daddy's Home is when John Cena comes in. That was
I've never seen it.
It's
So.
right at the end.
No.
Give us a catch up on some TV, Ollie.
Some TV. Well, you guys talked about so the past couple of weeks I actually watched a lot more TV than films.
Yeah,
Which
you
is
went to the
unlike-
theatre, mate.
Theatre's good.
It-
Love it.
It's
I
not
saw
on
it
screen.
Lion King, so classic. Respect.
That was a spud. Give us some proper entertainment.
Proper entertainment. Well, I'm not usually a TV guy, so actually, this isn't really my aspect. I was listening for the podcast last week where Chris, you talked about the end of The Walking Dead. So I had to watch that, get caught up on that.
What were your thoughts on it?
My thoughts, I admittedly, I thought it was a little bit watered down. There wasn't a lot of, just some things didn't make sense. When they were having a little fight in Alexandria, the Hilltop and the guys from the Kingdom just came out of nowhere. You'd think they'd come from the front gate, 'cause that's the only entrance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that didn't make sense.
Well, there is a sewer, isn't there? That leads in
Yeah.
to Alexandria.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, there is.
Oh, yeah.
That's how Rankin gets out. But I don't know how the Kingdom would know about that.
Nah,
That's
true.
I don't know how they got over the wall either. Like loads of people were escaping over the massive wall. They literally just were like suddenly up there, and I was like,
But at the end, what actually got me, I didn't realise this until I was watching loads of YouTubers talking about the end of reviewing it, and there's no walkers, there's no dead at the end. They're having this huge guns blazing fight, and there's not a single zombie except for Sasha, and you don't notice it.
yeah,
Because when Daryl, he's looking out, so they've all run away, they've retreated, and Daryl looks out, and it's just nothing.
yeah.
I don't know if they didn't have a budget for it, or they didn't have time. But I think that's missing it, because when they last had a big fight and standoff with the villain, which was the governor back in the prison, there were walkers and zombies left, right, and centre, and they were like fighting on two sides.
Yeah.
So they had this tank blowing up part of their prison, and then they had walkers coming around the side and, you know, tearing down the fence. So I think they missed a step there, but now it's all kicking off for in however many months time, 6 months time, probably in Halloween, when they're gonna have this big battle.
And where do you see it going, the series?
I really don't know. I don't think it's gonna last for many more seasons. It really can't. I'm getting a bit fed up with it.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing that is slowing it down is the fact that there's not this huge, this great story between all the like sites, all the different communities. Whereas in the first seasons, you're getting to know the characters, but now they're just chucking in all these characters from different places, and you're like, I don't know, it's just a faceless person, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true. No, I agree. Actually, that's I just don't see whether there's going to get to a point where you just like it's like I said last time. It's just repetition of what's going to happen. It's gonna be someone badder, bigger, badder. You know, take it over. He's going to stop them.
I want them to get more gory though. So like this one ended with some closure. Like they had the fight, whereas season 6 ended at Negan doing something. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, you bastards! Why would you do that?" Waiting for season 7 premiere, which, you know, shocked.
Yeah.
So I want them to get gory, because there's this group called the Whisperers, which they haven't shown yet, but they would have been in the comics, I think, by now.
Yeah.
And essentially they're wearing zombies. So they're just like Leatherface from from Chainsaw Massacre, and so they're amongst all these undead, and they're like just chatting to each other, but they're wearing it, which is what Glenn and Rick did back in season 1.
That's very true.
So imagine if like one of the zombies actually could still articulate. That'd be sick.
Maybe that's carrying a gun.
Yeah, maybe that's what it'll turn into.
Like the White Walkers, isn't it, in Game of Thrones?
Well, that's what they're thinking, like, oh, how are they going to have the Whisperers, how are they going to show them? And you think, oh, maybe Rick will go to kill him, but then he'll be like, oh, you hear him talking or something, or there's a walker carrying a gun, and you'll be like, what the hell?
That was it.
So, yeah.
What else you been watching?
For TV, I've been on a binge watching Rick and Morty, which I love, because that's an anime that you could definitely not do as a live action.
That's batshit, isn't it, that thing?
That is mental. Have you seen it then?
I've seen clips, and I've seen an episode here and there.
Is that the mad scientist doctor kind of person?
Yeah, the granddad and his grandson, they go on these crazy trips throughout the universe. It's like the multiverse for Family Guy, pretty much.
What do you like about it?
I don't know, I like that adult humour, because you got it, don't you?
Yeah. Again, there's something about, in my opinion, animation, where if like there's adult humour in animation, it's so much funnier than, you know, just puerile kind of real people saying wank and stuff. It's like, but you know, if like a little baby like Stewie says it, you're like, it's so funny.
Yeah, I agree actually, because I've watched BoJack Horseman.
Yes, I've seen
haven't
that.
quite finished it, but that's so funny. Like I was a massive skeptic. I was like, this is gonna be rubbish, but I watched it, and a lot of the things he says that if someone said it in real life, you'd be like, okay, that's. But this one is a lot more funny.
Is that another cartoon?
Yeah, that's on Netflix.
It's a horse.
Is Rick and Morty on Netflix?
I don't know. I'm just watching it online.
I think there is some. What?
No, carry on.
No, I think there's some on Netflix.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, what series is Rick and Morty on then?
So it's only got 2 seasons out, but the third season, first episode, I think, is out, but the third season isn't out yet.
Isn't that going to be the last one? I feel like someone said that. I don't know.
I hope not.
Mm.
3 seasons is quite short for animation.
Yeah.
Is there a overarching plot to it, or is it just like little vignettes of?
Yeah, there is. I'm not going to go into it because there's just so much detail. But there's multiple universes, and Rick, the granddad, has other Ricks against him, and it's really confusing. It's a mindfuck.
So if you were to say to someone who has no idea what it's about, it is basically like this and this or this. If you like X, you will like Rick and Morty.
Ooh, what would you suggest?
Is it Family Guy-y?
Nah,
Is it...
not at all.
South Parky?
Not so. I think it's a little bit of South Park humour, but I think it's more clever
Okay.
than that.
What's the other like trippy one that you watch? The guy is it a dog? He's got a dog, a yellow dog.
Yellow dog.
Yeah, and he wears that like white hat thing.
I don't know what you've been watching,
What
Chris.
what are you on, mate?
Don't know. Okay, so it's kind of its own thing then.
It's got 100% of Ron's Mars.
Really?
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so maybe that's its USP in
You have to
itself.
watch it now.
I'm
That one, Adventure Time.
Adventure
Oh,
Time.
Adventure
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
he's got the dog in it. He's got the
Oh,
white
yeah.
hat. Yeah.
Jake and dog thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it like that?
It's trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever seen the 70s version of Robin Hood, the animation? That is trippy.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it very late at night and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, crazy magical shit.
I want to add that if you like watching adult humour, but like the animation side, it's not animation, but Robot Chicken
Oh,
is
right.
It's hilarious.
like, the models.
Did anyone ever watch Celebrity Deathmatch?
I used to,
On
when
MTV.
I was allowed to stay up, yeah, because
That
I was quite late,
that
wasn't
was so funny.
it? That was
I've never
used
seen
to
it.
freak me out. They used to kill each other, man. This is why you like to see watching people die. I don't understand you at all. It used to scare me.
He's that guy that one day you're gonna walk into his house and he's gonna be there chopping up some body and you're gonna
Yeah.
stand there like, what the fuck do I do?
Carry on.
Yeah.
Close the door.
Yeah, I'm Dexter, innit?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So when you become a lumberjack.
Oh my God, this is-
Damn,
this
dunno,
is-
don't think Czech suits me.
He's actually just admitted he's Dexter. Knew it. This is like when Walter White is like, or when Hank's like, you're WW, and he's like, ha, you caught me, busted.
Got him. Anyone got anything else they want to review or to mention?
Prison Break.
Prison Break, because this is the new one.
Yeah, I think there's.
I've watched 5
4
episodes.
Oh,
First
what,
season.
the first. What do you think?
It's alright.
Yeah.
I'll try and watch it, but I'm not gonna like binge or anything.
How close is it to the past series? Is it continuity? Is it new characters?
It is continuity, although I've heard a lot of people saying how, I don't really want to spoil it for Obi, but how is Michael Schofield there? It doesn't make any sense how he got to where he is.
If you've watched 4 and he's watched 5, then he's
No. He's watched
Yeah, I've
5
watched the first
episodes,
5 episodes
of the
of season
original
1.
series.
Oh,
And
right.
I've watched 3 or 4, whatever is out at the moment of the new series.
Oh, okay.
So that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know Michael Scofield does though.
Oh, okay. So, what, do you know that he's in the new one as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, people are debating how he got there to where he is. On
Twin brother,
why it's all
innit?
happening. But it's quite clever because they get back old cast again, and there's a storyline to it, and it's good. I think they're trying to recreate what they had in the original series, which is the whole element of escaping prison. And
Do you know, sorry,
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you there, but I just want to quickly ask. From the end of season 4 and the beginning of season 5, how much time has passed?
15 years,
Oh, okay,
7
that's
years,
fine. I was gonna say, 'cause
7
they
or
both drastically changed.
it's
in
either
the-
7 or 15
looks.
years.
Okay, that's fine.
It's whatever the distance is from when it finished
Okay.
to what it is now.
So
So,
I
okay,
assume.
it's like 8 years.
So I assume at the
Yeah,
end of
okay.
series 4
Oh,
that
is it
they
only
get
4?
imprisoned.
What?
They're
No,
always in prison.
no, season
It's
4.
called Prison Break.
No.
Okay.
No?
I don't know. Go on, carry on.
I actually don't know how many. It's really annoying me. I don't know how many years difference. But the kid is great. The kid that was at the end of the series, who was a baby, is now grown into a child,
Right.
like school age. So
What do you like about it? Do you like them escaping from prison or the aftermath?
I think it's really clever. Like he's really articulate in like how he does it, and there's always underhanded plan on why he's doing what he's doing. Like people are like, oh, why are you being friends with him? What's he? Why? We hate him. And then he's like, well, I need him for this, and this.
Yeah, the mystery.
Yeah, and then
Shawshank Redemption.
yeah,
Mm.
and then there's an underlying, and there's always another. Well, in this one, there's another story. Like, why is he there? Why is he being told to like get out of here? Like, so. It's clever. I like it. I think I like them things when it's really clever. Like series where they really think about it and they really make everything add together and like.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Escape Plan with Arnie?
No, is it good?
Well, it's a bit silly, but it's like if you love that kind of stuff, like escaping from prison, then definitely worth a watch.
I'll give it a watch then. I'll give it a watch.
And just finally, another series that I want to mention is 13 Reasons Why. So it's a Netflix original drama based on a book about a teenage girl who commits suicide, and she records 13 sides of tapes, which then gets passed around the school, and each one's about a different person who in some way contributed to her making a decision to end her life.
Wow, that's deep.
It is a little bit.
Like, yeah.
That's rough.
But it seems to have exploded as like some, kind of cultural, not phenomenon, but...
Is it, 'cause I want to ask, but is it an American high school?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because...
So I'm not into that. I ain't into that shit.
No, but it's quite relevant to nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like, because when you're watching it, you'll see very... you've got to be very careful when you're portraying these things, but it's very like everything happens to her, and then when she recovers from something, it seems to go back on her again. So like she makes a friend, and then when they decide they don't want to be friends with her again, they revert back to like what happened previously to her, and it's kind of like everything.
Well, I'm only 2 episodes in, and you're
Okay.
5?
4. I think I'm part way through the 4th episode, but like you feel really sorry for her.
Is it worth watching?
I think it's worth a watch.
I'm intrigued,
Mm.
and it has seemed to it's kind of everywhere. People talking about it, and
Yeah.
And the thing as well on these tapes, it's like because it doesn't get passed around to school, it gets passed around to certain individuals
yeah.
because they have to listen to the tapes.
Oh my god.
Otherwise-
So this is why you essentially killed me.
Mm.
You really hear that?
Yeah, pretty
No.
much, and they have to listen to it. Otherwise, this certain person will publicly humiliate them in some way, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing. Like at this moment in time, where I'm up to, I kind of find some of it problematic because so this girl, she's the new kid or something, and then, she kind of. So the first episode, mild spoilers, is like she kind of gets
Spoilers.
with this jock,
and they
and-
straight away tell her not to, don't they? I'm pretty sure. Oh
yeah,
no, it's
but
the
he's
other guy.
a jock, so
Yeah.
he's going to be a twat. But anyway, so then they get off, but then he basically claims that he's done more
Right.
with her, and then that goes around the school, and people are like, "Oh, you're a slut," sort of thing. So she kind of gets bullied a bit, but it's just like I think Obi will like it because it's the cheesiest high school thing ever. Like everything's dandy and great, and she's like so kooky and all this sort of it's like all like Gossip Girl, those sorts of. Or was the one whoever trying to find A is like Pretty Little Liars. It's like that because there's like a narrator that you
Right.
kind of voices over, and it's like, oh, welcome to your tape sort of thing. It's very interesting. I mean,
Is it a tape an episode?
yeah.
Yeah, and like a
Do you-
side an episode.
So is it going to be only 13 episodes? do you
It is
think?
only 13 episodes.
Is it one series?
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
how it ends,
don't
so
know
I
how
don't
it
know if
ends.
there's going to be more.
But the
But
thing-
I wonder.
The thing is with it as well, you got this whole thing where like if you got the tape, if you got these tapes, how fast would you listen to them?
Not fast.
I don't know if
Well,
I would listen
you listen to them
immediately?
all? Would you listen to all 13 sides straight away to find out?
But then
Because you don't know where you are on these tapes, yeah. But it's like it's in an order.
yeah, but the tapes also lead people to locations. So she says, "Oh, you'd like to enhance your listening, go to the park."
I mean, you don't have
Or-
to go to these locations. I mean, you just Google Maps it. I'm sure.
But what I don't understand now, but only being 2 episodes in, is they treat it for me kind of quite blasé.
Blasé, yeah.
So you see her recording these tapes, and she's like, oh, you're on these tapes, like, you know, you're one of the reasons why I killed myself. And I don't know, obviously, like, people can choose to end their life for a whole load of reasons, and you don't always have to be depressed or whatever. But she seemed really kind of upbeat, and I was just kind of like, she didn't seem like, and obviously this would be unfolded throughout the series, but she didn't seem like everything was so shit that she, like, really wanted to end her life. And I was like, it kind of felt a bit blasé. And I was just like, I don't know if that's...
I have to be in agreement with you on that
you
one.
know,
Yeah.
like, it's such a...
For a delicate
horrible subject matter.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you hear is, if you're listening to this tape, you're one of the reasons why I killed myself. Like, whoa. Like, to put that on someone is really, really bad in itself. Like, I don't know if this happens in the series, but that might make people kill themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, to have that guilt, to put all that pressure and guilt on someone. And imagine if her mum hears it and it's like, oh, Ollie, you're one of the reasons why she killed herself.
Baby.
Well,
I don't know.
The thing is, as well, the main character, you get the sense that he's not. There's something up with him as well, isn't there? Like, he's not. He's not depressed. He's a bit he's nervous and he's really
socially
withdrawn.
awkward.
Yeah. So, like, to put that on someone, if in the end she says, and inevitably it was all your fault.
Yeah. But I feel like the motivation for these people to listen is not strong. Like, she says, you have to listen to this. And obviously you've kind of alluded that people get publicly humiliated, which isn't something that I
that's
realised.
in the first episode.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure
But she says, like, there are people watching to make sure that you listen to these things. But it's kind of like, what are you going to do if I don't listen to them? Like,
yeah, this is true. I mean, you could just be like, listen to the first bit, listen to the last bit, and then just give it back, couldn't you?
yeah, just can't imagine...
Wouldn't listen to it as well.
Exactly, I can't imagine if someone...
As soon as the video says you're one reason I killed myself, I'll turn it off and be like, fuck you then.
Yeah. So, I don't know, but it is really interesting. I know I've kind of been negative about it, but it's intriguing, and I want to watch on to see why and how the main guy... Because he's like kind of like sweet, you know, nervous guy who's, you know, kind of... He's like the school... He'd be like an in-betweener, and she's this kind of popular pretty girl.
And I'm pretty sure he was in love with her when she was
pretty sure.
around.
Yeah.
But I feel like they've got to handle the very last episode quite seriously. Whatever it is, I feel like it's got to be handled seriously, and I'm not sure if they'll do it well enough.
But then the reception of it's been quite positive.
Okay.
So, I mean, the series in general. So I can't imagine, you know, I can't imagine people would champion it if it was, you know, treating it in a completely off-the-cuff way. So we'll keep you up to date. I guess we'll probably try and be spoiler-free for as long as
you're not going to get it next week, so hopefully by the week after we've maybe us two have watched it all.
Yeah. Well, talking of next week is going to be pure Marvel Cinematic Universe.
All 14 films.
Pure unadulterated superhero. We're going to dress up.
I've got my
Fangirl.
I've got my gauntlet here.
Chris has got the Infinity Gauntlet, which he's going to... Yeah. Oh my god, it's an oven mitt.
Oh,
Hell fucking yes.
That doesn't work properly. Oh yeah.
And then I think Joe might be back from... Don't know.
He's going to make an appearance in Marvel.
Back from the dead.
Yeah, back from Ragnarok or wherever he's been living for the last few weeks. So we'll get the time gem and rewind time. So Ollie's got a few films to watch before then. If you've not seen that, if Chris isn't... So I'm now holding a Captain America DVD. Other DVDs are available. Up to Ollie. Chris, if you're not going to rewatch this, then maybe Ollie should borrow it.
Yeah, you can borrow it if you want, mate.
Just, there you go. Boom. Okay. Well, any final points, guys?
No.
No? Well, I'm already buzzing for next week. I think next week's going to be a very long podcast.
Will we be talking about TV series as well as the films?
If it's not Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, yeah, I mean...
So I guess like maybe...
Agents of
S.H.I.E.L.D. But I haven't watched that. So
Agent Carter.
we'll rely on you for that. But yes, thank you so much for listening to episode 12 now. Please do give us a like on Facebook. We're under Your Average Critics. Also on Twitter at YSC Podcast 17. We're on iTunes, Your Average Critics, SoundCloud. Give us a like, share our content.
Review, please.
Please review. We've got a couple of reviews, but, you know, they always help, even if they're constructively critical. You could be a average critic of Your Average Critics. Boom. And definitely get involved in our conversation next week. So There are currently 14 Marvel Cinematic Universe films, and as of Friday, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will be the 15th. So, we are all going to rank those from top to bottom, and then we're going to have a huge discussion about why we've ranked them, our favourites, what we think the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be, and there will definitely, I'm not even going to cover this up, there's going to be fucking Guardians of the Galaxy 2 spoilers, so watch that shit. We'll record this on next Monday, I think, which is the bank holiday Monday, and then we'll release it the following Thursday, hopefully.
Depending on how long it is.
So by the end of the next couple of weeks, it's going to be so long. But by hopefully
4-hour special, here it comes.
Hopefully May the 6th or something. May the 4th be with you. But May the 6th or something, it will be released. So you've got until then to listen to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and get involved in a conversation. So tweet us, post on our Facebook. You know, which ones do you think? Which are the best? Which are the worst? Captain America.
What superhero film would you like to see?
Exactly. So do get involved and do tune in for next week's episode.
What's better, Marvel or DC?
Marvel. Peace.